Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. We're back in Winterset, Iowa. I've been here before because I vlogged the movie or the filming locations for Bridges in Madison County, which that was filmed here. I've been here before also because we're not far from Van Meter, which is where the great pitcher Bob Feller was raised. But we're also back in Winterset because they have the birthplace of John Wayne, Marion Morrison. Now, I came here probably 5 or 7 years ago and I checked out the amazing museum, but I'm sure things have changed since then. But the house, his birth house, was actually closed for the season because they didn't want people tracking in snow. So it should be open, and this will be the first time I'm getting to see it and the first time I get to share it with you guys. So Daze with Jordan the Lion and you all, it begins right now. They even named a road after him. So that's the Roseman Bridge, which is one of the main bridges used in the movie Bridges in Madison County. They have a little plaque here talking about that as well, being in the Clint Eastwood movie. So here's the incredible John Wayne Museum. They have a wonderful statue of him out front, and they line all the sidewalks out front with his movies, which I love. I love to see that. Marion Morrison, born right behind here, right behind this building. 1907, May 26th. I do think some things have changed since the last time I was here. Right over here, we're seeing one of his costumes from She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. How cool is that? And they also have a John Wayne museum in, I believe, Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here's one of his contracts from Three Godfathers signed by him. That's really cool. Personally, I'm a huge fan of seeing original costumes, especially as many movies as he made. Jeez, it's unreal. And I always wanted to see the filming locations from True Grit, and I finally got to do those with Katie. Look at that cool poster. John Ford. Over here we have one of his saddles, the Courage saddle. Highly prized individually numbered collector's saddle from Yoakum, Texas. It's a tribute to John Wayne's 100th birthday. Wow, very nice. There's an image of him on the very front of it. Oh, here's some amazing stuff. The hat and coat from Rio Bravo. Great movie. Rio Bravo, El Dorado. Awesome movies. That's a good one though. McClintock, that's another great one. Oh, there's an image of him wearing it. Very cool. For many years, he was buried in an unmarked grave because he didn't want a ton of attention, but now he's got a marker. Now this is the bib shirt from the Searchers. That's pretty cool. And then pants from Hondo, which I can't think of Hondo without thinking of Al Bundy. When Al Bundy would wait for that one day all year where they would show Hondo, and every year everybody would ruin it for him. That's great. Another sculpture. There's a poster from She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. That's the costume that we saw, the very first one. Wow, take a look at this setup. We've got an old movie light. And it looks like some original costumes or personal belongings. Let's see. John Wayne's on-screen costumes, studied and selected by the actor himself, paid tribute to the West, while telegraphing the look of the American cowboy around the globe. So these actually are all worn in movies. Looks like, let me see if I can match them. The jacket right here is from Cahill U.S. Marshal. That's his overcoat. That is his jacket from the Cowboys. And there's photos of him wearing those two jackets. That's U.S. Marshal and the Cowboys. And they have this vest and that shirt and vest. So that's what those are. That's magnificent. He was a big guy too. Bigger than most for his day as an actor. Now look at this. This is talking about making all of his movies, or making a lot of movies in Monument Valley. It says, straddling the Arizona-Utah border, known as the Four Corners, is Monument Valley, the most iconic of all Western landscapes. It's here that director John Ford made a star of John Wayne in Stagecoach. 1939. The legendary director-actor returned to remake such classics as Fort Apache, She Wore Yellow Ribbon, and The Searchers. Back here. Now over here, that's Barbra Streisand presenting John Wayne with an Oscar for True Grit. Looks like this is the shirt down here from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. That's the coat, shirt, and pants from True Grit. And he actually used to change out the eye patch every day. They put like a little hole in it so he could see through it. So that's the shirt, jacket, pants, Rooster Cogburn, signed Academy Award. And that is actually one of his eye patches from True Grit. Very cool. And the shotgun right there is from McClintock, which is maybe the funniest of all of them. At least one of my favorites. Very, very, very funny. With Maureen O'Hara. And they have a couple of statues. More statues of John Wayne. There he is wearing the eye patch. The Undefeated with Rock Hudson, and those two got along great, actually. They both loved to play cards and got along immediately. Rock Hudson said in his book, Hondo movie poster, they called him Hondo. Now look at this. More costumes. The vest, shirt, and trousers from Big Jake. This is the saddle that he used for the Cowboys. This is the shirt from the Train Robbers. This is from Rio Lobo. That hat. And that shirt with a little bit of fake blood on the front and a lot on the arm is worn in The Shootist. So you can see there's some bullet holes on his arm. I love that he was able to have two museums and that both of them have memorabilia. That's so cool to me. I've never been to the one in Dallas. Here we've got a few more costumes. His jacket from the Green Beret. This was his Colonel Mike Kirby field jacket from the Green Beret. You can see it says his name up there. That's a cast member's hat right there. And there's John Wayne's shirt from the movie. And then that's from The Hard Way, that hat. And over here says that this costume was a cavalry tunic, and it was used by him in Fort Apache, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and Rio Grande. That is pretty cool. They reused his costumes. And they have a photo of him wearing this. And there's John Wayne's gold medal, Congressional Gold Medal, honored to him by Barry Goldwater. There's an Andy Warhol. That is really cool. It's from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Part of his 1986 series, Cowboys and Indians. It was gifted to the museum here by John and Murph Burke of Milwaukee. Very cool. Look at that amazing bust of him. So if you look around the museum, you'll see these panels in various places, like right here, and then over here on the other side of the case, there's an identical one. And these were also movie props. Well, they were part of the set from The Shootist. Says he literally filmed his last scene in the movie in front of this panel. How cool is that? It's in the closing barroom fight. So I'll take you over and show you the others. Kind of a cool thing. And then back here is his weapon collection. So these were all his personals. Doesn't say they were used in any movies or anything that I can see. Just all his personal collection. Everything from rifles, shotguns, handheld, tribute guns. Like that one's a tribute to him, with him on the gun itself. And same with that one. He's on that one. It's a tribute rifle. So a lot of these actually, it looks like, were all gifted to him and either had one of his quotes or his signature or his image or something on it. Kind of neat. Definitely showing an impact. And then this case is all coffee mugs, and it says for 25 years, beginning with the Flying Leathernecks in 1951, it was his custom to design and distribute keepsake coffee mugs to the entire cast and crew who worked in all of his movies up to The Shootist. And they're all themed after movies, or whatever movie they were making at the time, of course. Conqueror. That was a bad... everybody involved in that movie ended up with cancer, basically, and died. Cahill, the Alamo, Rooster Cogburn. And there he is using one of them. It has changed a little bit from what I remember. It seems like there used to be like a stagecoach or something in here from one of his movies with Maureen O'Hara, if I remember right. Maybe it's on loan, or maybe it's in another museum now. And there's he and his brother. Okay, as I walked around, I found it. It's in another room. This is the Chuck Wagon, prominently featured in Red River and the Cowboys. That is pretty cool. And they also have a piece in here about how Ronald Reagan came to view the exhibits here at the museum. Very cool. And that is literally a Chuck Wagon. And this will lead us out to the birth house. Okay, so they haven't lost anything. Well, my friends, we are going to call it a day. I know I promised you a tour of the childhood home, but that's going to be the next video. Going to leave you have a little bit of a cliffhanger here. Come back next time and we will tour the entire birth home where he was born, literally inside that house, and we'll find out some stories. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night and goodbye.